I think a lot of people don't start YouTube channels because they think they are too boring, they are not extroverted enough, they are not loud enough. And as somebody who's a total introvert, who's a quiet person, that was something I was thinking about when I started my channels. And the question is indeed, do you have to be this kind of a chester running a goddamn circus in front of the camera in order to keep people entertained enough to get enough view time on your videos? Is it possible to make content if you are a quiet introvert and you just want to be calm? You want to talk slowly because that's who you are. Well, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think the answer, once again, is not exactly black and white. So let's dig into it. I remember a while ago I got a comment on my main channel that told me if you really want more views, you have to be really special. Like if you want to make a video about taking a cold plunge, it really has to be literally an ice bath. So somebody apparently had made an ice bath out of ice and then filled it and then plunged into it. And that was one of those comments that made me feel like, well, sure, but I'm not really an entertainer. I'm somebody who wants to speak to people, have conversations with people. That's why this channel also is kind of boring. Like this environment even is kind of gray and dull, which maybe I'm going to change eventually because I've started to realize that slowly. But when it comes to the way I speak, I already speak different in front of the camera than I do in real life. And that's something I want to mention in this video for you guys if you are somebody who's thinking about starting a channel or has been doing videos already. I think there's nothing wrong with putting on a role for a video. I think it's very natural. When I sit in front of this camera and I'm not talking to a person, it has an effect on me. I would never talk like this to another human being. I just wouldn't. And I think it's good in the sense that I talk a little bit louder, and I'm not listening to anyone, so I don't stop to just quietly think all the time on how to respond, if that makes sense. But having said all that, is it then possible to grow a channel being somebody who is quiet, who is an introvert, who is not an entertainer? Well, I think it's possible, but I think it's unfortunately going to take more time. And as per usual on this channel, I will use my main channel as an example. I have a handful of subscribers who pretty much always comment on my videos. And these people, they have told me, some of them have told me that they just like to listen to me. I just happen to be the type of person they specifically like to listen to. And this is important to understand. You need to be yourself, and you being you uniquely is a good thing. It can be a bad thing in the sense that sure, you're not going to grow as fast as somebody else because of how you are and who you are, but ultimately your audience will consist of people who specifically find you interesting, charismatic, pleasant to listen to. So I think we shouldn't try to mimic anybody else. That's one huge thing for me when I make these videos. Yes, I'm different in front of the camera, but I'm not trying to be anybody else. I am me. This is who I am. And if you like listening to me and looking at my face, good. If you don't like it, well, you probably find somebody else, and I can't really do anything about that. And having said all that, what anybody and everybody can and should do is that we should focus on the clarity of our videos, the message of our videos. And that's where, for example, I have been weak. I am not necessarily a good storyteller. I have good ideas, I have good thoughts. I can slowly output those thoughts so that it makes sense and people might think, hey, there's a nice gem in the middle of everything you said. Hey, there's that value. I found the value from everything you just said. But I'm not that good yet at starting my videos a very specific structured way so that you immediately get hooked into it and you find the value immediately. So ultimately, I would say to anyone who is thinking about starting a channel or who is feeling not exactly too confident about making videos because of who they are, how they look, whatever, I would say it doesn't really matter as long as you try to study what do you do wrong, what you could do better, what are your weaknesses, what are you interested in. Like I got a comment that said that I should edit my videos differently to make them more engaging. Probably true, but I don't really want to. I'm not really that much into editing, and I don't really want to spend that much more time on my videos. Therefore, I can't really bitch about, oh, my channel is not growing fast enough if I'm not putting in enough effort and work. But that's also what it is for some of us. Some of us, we want to make minimalistic content, like me sitting in my room in front of this phone and then just cutting when I'm pausing, when I say something wrong, I just cut those and that's it. No zoom, no effects. And you be the judge. You tell me in the comments. Do you think this is too bland and too boring? Or do you actually enjoy the fact that there's nothing extra? Because that's what I'm really interested in. Because personally, what I realized while making this video was indeed that my environment here, this room, is very bland. It's my Warhammer room and it's just gray and brown and whatever. So maybe I should film these videos in another location like I do on my main channel. Have some lights in the background, etc. Let me know in the comments, please. Because this channel's point is to learn together. I'm a total noob. I'm not good at this, but I want to document it. I want to learn and I want to teach when I learn. So you can actually teach me. And if that's something you find interesting as a concept, please remember to subscribe and leave a like to this video. So, all in all, I don't think you need to change your personality. I think you just need to figure out how do you need to improve your communication? How do you make your videos more valuable? And yes, sure, maybe think about the background a little bit. But that's all for this video and I will see you next week. Now I will go film a video for my main channel. Thank you for watching and bye bye.